Welcome to the Millennial Life Coaches Podcast. At MLC, our mission is simple: add value to help you take on massive action towards your life goals. Here, we feature amazing coaches from all over the world, share compelling stories, and discuss proven practices to help keep your energy high and in the flow. Learn more about MLC at millenniallifecoaches.com.
Hey, welcome to another episode of How to Get Ahead, hosted by Millennial Life Coaches. I'm one of your hosts, Austin Bradley, founder and engagement director at Millennial Life Coaches. Here with two of my faves. We've got Tanya on the line. Hey, Tanya.
Oh, hey.
All right. Here with Lorna. Lorna, how's it going?
Good. We're just saying we've got cups of tea, coffee. We're good to go for a good chat.
Good chat. Yeah, I can't wait. For those newbies out there, Lorna is a social media expert and MLC core coach, and Tanya is an NLP practitioner and also an MLC core coach. So we got a good group here. Good group. Hey, how you guys doing? How's everyone doing?
Good. It's been a good week. I feel like we've seen a lot of growth. It's been amazing watching some of the coaches and the businesses within our community highlight out like everyone that's doing everything that's good for the community and for the whole. It's just been really beautiful to watch.
I agree. And before we touch on that, Tanya, I would love to know what you are sipping. What is in that cup?
It's a dandelion coffee replacement with coconut milk. I gave up caffeine in November of last year, so this is my coffee without the caffeine.
Ooh,
hey.
What made you give up caffeine?
I was doing this like radical health protocol, and one of the things that we were supposed to change out and give up for the duration of the program was caffeine, because of some of the effects it can have on the body and the nervous system and your hormones and all of that. And once I took it out and overcame the like wicked headaches and like withdrawals and the like, dear God, I really had a massive caffeine addiction. I've noticed I've had so much energy since, and I'm like, I don't really want to go back to that. So it's been really cool. I think I've had maybe 1 cup of coffee since November.
Okay, now I'm getting nervous because I'm about to get my second cup today.
I was just going to say,
horrible. It just,
yeah.
I was balancing out my metabolism and doing a whole metabolic reset, and it was just one thing that I didn't need in my body.
I wonder if I could do that actually, because if I have 2 coffees, I 100% will get a headache. 100%. So I know where the limit is with the coffee. I could probably benefit from having a bit of time where I don't have caffeine and see what happens.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be like I'd be super tired all the time, and the amount of energy I have without it is insane. Like, I didn't realize that it was actually stunting my energy in a weird way.
Well, Tanya, you're over here trying to change the coaching world, so you need all the energy you can muster.
The more energy, the better.
Yeah, really. Okay, so Tanya, you mentioned, all this goodness is happening with coaches, what we've seen this week. Care to highlight anything that kind of maybe stood out to you?
Honestly, I think it was just, I was doom scrolling the other day, as we do. And the MLC stories popped up, and just seeing like Nicole and like Haley and Celine and like what they're got going on, and like seeing some of their posts, it was just this beautiful reminder of like all of our coaches are out to set up such amazing things for people in this world, and they're really putting themselves out there to make an impact. And it's just a beautiful thing to watch and see, and the different things that are coming out from their programs and their customers and their journeys. It's just profound to watch, because it's really, that's what this is all about, right? We change our own life so we can change the world.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And what's interesting, especially with the names you mentioned, one trend I can see, especially with kind of those coaches, is their consistency. Right. I mean, not only have they been doing it for quite some time, but they have continued to engage and continue to post and just continue to add value. right? And I really feel like in this industry, like in the coaching industry, that is something that you absolutely must do.
Yeah. Consistency is huge. And that consistency, not only in like posting, but like being open enough to share your journey, your struggles, your lessons along the way. It's definitely something that I think when we get into marketing and we start looking at our coaching business and we're like, I need to share this message, what I can do, how I can help you. We try to become like the hero in somebody else's story versus just being like, hey, this is me. This is who I am. This is what's going on. I'm like everybody else. And because I have these tools, this is how my life is. Let me show you how that can help you. And we shift the dynamic that way, where we now become the person that's giving them the advice and giving them the resources and letting them be the hero of their own story.
It makes my job so much easier because I have all the content there from all of these amazing coaches, and I just bring it together, but it's already there in a lot of, you know, everybody's reels and everybody's posts. And every time I'm going on there, I'm like, oh, got to repost that. I don't need to create that much because the coaches have already created it. They're already speaking for themselves and saying what they've achieved and the wonderful things that they're doing. I'm just there reposting. Yeah, we'll share that. We'll get behind that. Because there is a lot of good stuff going on out there, and I just like get us to amplify it out there.
Absolutely.
Do you guys think that being a coach, especially this day and age, is it becoming easier or harder? Like, what's your sense on if you want to get into like coaching?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
Both.
Right.
I would say there are more coaches out there, so appearance-wise, it could feel like it's harder. Yet everyone is so unique. So I think to a certain degree too, it's easier because if you're showing up and leading from your heart and just truly wanting to make that impact, and you're doing it from that place of serving, I think it becomes easier because you're just showing up and providing the tools and resources that other people need to really live their best life.
You could really start from day one in terms of like, you've decided to be a coach and maybe you've got no experience and you've had no training, and you're literally waking up one day saying, hey, I want to explore this coaching thing. And you could document your journey through socials or online, and that would be so unique to watch someone from the moment they said, hey, I'm going to discover coaching, let's see what happens, from them, working with a mentor, training, taking on their first client, like things going wrong, like all of that journey itself would be so unique but so valuable at the same time. So in that sense, if you were new to it and you were just diving in, that then gives you a spin or a perspective that maybe the experienced coaches don't have, and they wouldn't have that kind of story and content to share. And maybe if you're that type of person that doesn't mind being really super transparent online and sharing everything, then that would totally suit you. That would be so unique. You would have like such a niche where people could really go on the journey with you, and then like fall in love with your story and know that you're the coach for them because they've seen you the whole journey, every stage, and they know completely like it's an authentic, you're coming from a good place, they can see your values, they're rooting for you and they're desperate to work with you because they know so much about you. That would be so valuable.
Hey there, my name is Salin, your fun business coach, and I just wanted to share with you how much I've enjoyed my experience working with millennial life coaches. MLC is the platform that you want to be a part of if you are a coach. No matter what kind or type of coach you are, they have the support and resources to help you along your journey. For instance, I have a mini course that they helped me get up onto their website. They helped me market it, promote it, and sell it. That is the kind of support you need when you're a coach and you want to build your business online. So if you are a coach who is looking for support in building your business, MLC is the place that you want to be.
Honestly, and if you're a new coach out there or just a new just business owner, authenticity is going to be that differentiator that can set you apart. And you need those differentiators. Tanya mentioned that there are so many options out there, you know, in the coaching industry, services industry. You have to have some unique something, right? And really that authenticity. I mean, that's your story, your experience. I mean, that could be the thing that kind of sets you apart and really helps grow your business.
Yeah. Well, I think it is the thing that sets you apart, because at the end of the day, no one else is you. No one else is going to have the way that you think, the way that you speak, the way that you show up for your clients. You are the thing that sets yourself apart, and how you choose to express that makes a massive difference in the lives that you're going to touch. And having the support and the community behind you as you do it is also what sets you apart. It's really about understanding that you are the difference. You are the magic.
You know, something interesting, Tanya. I think that you know, showcasing that story and that authenticity, that'll drive you know, I'll say engagement, or that will drive interest. But there's one more piece to it, right? So I was reading this article. I do a lot of reading, and it was, oh goodness, Jim Lazinski. All right, he wrote this article on what's called like a 0 moment of truth, right? And he's basically saying that people that want like services like coaching or even like products, they're not just like going to the store and buying things on shelves, which we all know. They're going and they're looking at, like, they're researching. All right, so we are in this heavy information, all this information is on our fingertips, and your audience, whether you guys know it or not, they're researching you, right? So I think that, you know, showing up every day, that's a piece of it. But then, you know, they're deeper diving, right? They want to see, well, what are your reviews? What are your testimonials? What communities are you in, right? They are Googling you before they are choosing to work with you or take things further. So I think that, especially to those newbies out there, you have to start generating that footprint that may actually be outside of social media. How does that land with you guys?
Well, I mean, as someone who is co-creating a whole platform based off this, I feel like it resonates pretty big for me. Honestly, your social media account, anything could happen at any point in time. That's not where the money and the revenue is, right? Like, someone could get hacked, you could get shut down. And if you're only building on social, you're leaving out other areas of your business where people can find you. Like you said, people are Googling you. You need that website. Your mailing list is gold. Whoever's on your mailing list and your email list, that's really what you want to be focused on. It's looking at the whole marketing picture as a whole. And as a coach, I know firsthand when we come into this, nobody tells you this. Nobody's like, oh, hey, here's the marketing side of things. Like, you get your coaching certification, you're like, cool, now I can change lives. Yet how do I do it? And it really comes down to how big of a network can I build within myself? So where's my community that I'm going to be in that is going to help support me, that I'm going to be able to reach people? Social media is super important because it drives people to take action. However, what are they taking action to? Do I have something like a lead magnet that they need to download or I can help them with? Like, what's a freebie that I can offer you so I can showcase how I can actually help you? Because as great as it is to be like, hey, I want to come get one-on-one coaching, it's $5K for 6 months or whatever it is. Not many people are going to drop that on you if they don't know who you are. They need to know, like, and trust you. And that's so, so important. And that happens through things like checking out your website, maybe downloading that meditation or that ebook that helps me understand what it is that I'm going to get out of you, or what helps me understand what I need out of myself. Because that's really what it comes down to in the coaching journey, is the person is going to have to do the work on themselves. So how can I support you throughout that? And I need the marketing in place in order for that to be something that I can truly show you that, hey, you know my story, so you know me, you like me because of what I've been through, but what can I actually do for you? And I need to put my money where my mouth is, so to speak. And that usually happens on those other platforms where we're showcasing our skills, we're showing what we can do. We've got the testimonials, we've got that mailing list that I can sign up for and every week get a hit of, okay, well, this is information that I needed, or I didn't know this, or I can work on this, or things like podcasts where I'm going and I'm being able to speak about what it is that I do and who I am in a really authentic way, but I can cross-link that back to my website and my socials, and it all works together. It's just a piece of the puzzle that a lot of coaches, especially as newbies, we think we understand what we need to do when we come into it. And the reality is a lot of it can be tedious and it can be frustrating, and there's a lot to get in place. And that's why you need supports and people around you that know and have been through that journey that can help you put all these things in place.
I think when I first started, one of the real light bulb moments was when someone introduced me to lead magnets, landing pages, and an email list, because I was like, oh, finally I have somewhere for all the people in my DMs to go, and I can chat with them somewhere else too. Like, it made sense. I can have them all in a space that then I have more ownership over. And I was like, okay, now I can see how these platforms connect together. And when you get that light bulb moment, things become clearer. Like, this has a purpose for this, this has a purpose for this, and you can see the steps and the journey that someone then can take essentially with you. And I love the fact that you can have so much data as well to do with it. Like, this amount of people come to the page, this amount of people download your thing, this amount of people read it or click on it, this amount of people book. And you're like, oh my God, I have all the numbers behind it. Like, now I can start to make some predictions, or I can, ramp up the marketing, or, you can start to make real plans because you have all of that. Whereas arguably social media can still be a bit hit and miss. You can post something thinking it's going to do amazing and it doesn't. And then the weirdest thing takes off and you have no idea why. And so I find that very frustrating. But the email marketing side of things, I kind of do like as well.
It gives you that information, and it also tells you who's my audience, like who's coming to see me, and what do they actually need, right? Like, I find with social media, it's very easy to put up a post and I think it's brilliant. I'm like, this is the best thing I've written ever. And then it flops. And then I'll go on there maybe having like an off day and I start talking about like, oh, I've had this anxiety issues my entire life. And people are like, I do too. I need to learn more. And that's what triggers. And you start to find out like, who's my audience? Who am I speaking to? And what do they actually need? And then that way you customize everything around that. And it just makes things smoother in the conversations, in the posts, in the emails that you're sending, in the lead magnets or the freebies that you're offering, the resources, or maybe it's a course that you're building, right? It just gives you the statistics and the information of what the people actually need.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is, if you are a coach or an entrepreneur, a business owner, the mailing list is almost an imperative, right? I mean, it allows you to, send maybe customized, messaging. It allows you to have kind of a deeper engagement with your audience. So to those listening out there, especially to the coaching audience, get that list together. And I know we mentioned a lot of maybe systems, the landing page, the mailing list. I mean, if only there was this one-stop shop that we could go to that had all of that together. I mean, can you guys think of it?
I mean,
No.
I might know of one.
All right.
Can I talk about it quick?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tanya, go for it. We want to hear
Go
about
for it.
this.
All of this is in essence why Coach Core was created. So for those of you listening, I am the NLP Master Practitioner Certified Instructor. I also am the co-founder of Coach Core, and it's an all-in-one platform designed to help you do just this. So you get your landing pages, you get your funnels, you get your email marketing, you get your ability to build courses, your calendars, everything in one place. So it's simplified. So you don't have to fight with the tech nightmare of like, hey, I need this to talk to this, but what if this doesn't happen? It's an all-in-one platform really designed to simplify and take the overwhelm out of marketing. And then on top of that, you get access to the support in the community that I was talking about. So you get support calls with myself and my business partner. So I'm more of the mindset life tech. She's business strategies and marketing itself, where you actually get one to many in a group call. access to a bunch of coaches, including us, that will actually help you craft your message, figure out who you're speaking to, make your tech work, and really, again, just simplify the whole process so you're not feeling overwhelmed and, okay, I'm building my list. What do I say? Who do I talk to? All of that kind of stuff. So that's really what Coach Core was created to do. So that is, in essence, the basis behind it. It was a couple of coaches that came together and literally sat down on the floor one day and were like, what do you wish you had when you started? And how can we create it for other people?
See, I've seen a lot of different platforms and I've not seen one specifically for coaches. I've tried a few different types and none of them have quite fit all of the needs, where I've then had to sort of merge it with 2 or 3 platforms, and then you've got the headache of everything being connected and you're like, I don't understand why this isn't working. I haven't got time for this. But having it all under one umbrella, ideal.
It's been beautiful. And the coaches that have come through it are just like, I really wish I had this sooner. I mean, honestly, it was created because I wish I had it sooner. Like the amount of times I rebuilt my own personal website before I was like, this is bullshit. It's insane. The amount of mailing lists I burned through because I had to move platforms. Like having everything in one place, that's really why we created it, to make life easier. Because really, at the end of the day, we don't become coaches to do marketing. It's not why we're coaches.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, you became a coach not to look at the back end of website coding and all of that stuff. No,
that's not the dream. The dream is to help people. So if you have the support and the system behind it where you get to focus on the coaching, that's really what our intention for the Coach Core is.
Tanya, that's beautiful. And to those that may be less familiar, how do they find Coach Core?
So Coach Core, www.coachcore.ca. We are on social. However, I will be the first to admit that we are not actively posting as much as we should be. But you can find us on Instagram that way. Website's probably the best to reach out. And you can actually, if you're interested in learning more, there are opportunities to get free demos to actually see the thing firsthand.
That's amazing, Tanya. And we'll go ahead and put all that information in comments too. And Tanya, if you are looking for maybe a social media expert, I've got a couple recommendations. So.
I mean, I feel like we should actually have a conversation.
All right, Lorna, I've got a rant real quick. I've got a rant before we get off here. I'm going to date myself as a millennial, like I'm right in the middle of the millennial years. I remember a time where you could get on Twitter or X, whatever they're calling it these days. Instagram, wherever you go, you post something, anything, that you put a comment out there and the followers would just come. I mean, I think one day I may have made 500 followers, and this was back in, 2011, 2012. I mean, it was beautiful, right? So I think that today's day and age, I mean, there's so many more, boundaries, or, there's something happening that has almost prevented kind of this follower engagement. And Lorna, I want to pitch this to you because you're kind of the expert on the socials. What do you think kind of happened, and then what is your advice for those that's posting this value and this content that may be struggling to get those followers?
Okay, what a big question. So since 2012, so if you're looking at like the last 10-15 years, like the landscape of social media has changed so much. Like it moves again every 6 or so months. It's constantly moving. There's new platforms appearing, there's new algorithm changes. The only thing you have any control over is how you're acting on the platform in terms of like what you're posting and what you are doing with your time on there. I would agree that actually your posts are not going as far as they used to. Absolutely. I think everybody can accept that. That's partly, I think, to do with ads and sponsored content, partly to do, especially on Instagram, the sheer number of people and content on there. But the way that I know about the Instagram algorithm, it's very different to the way that like the TikTok algorithm works. in terms of it favors community, whereas from my understanding, TikTok favors discoverability. So you may get more reach on a platform like TikTok because of the way that that algorithm is arranged. It's going to show you to more new people, whereas Instagram have gone in a different direction in terms of they're going to show your stuff to the people that are already within your audience or similar to your audience. So the reach is not going to be the same. That's not to say one is better than the other. I mean, they've got two different roles. And ultimately, if you're using social media to get people onto a website or an email list, they can both still do that. That I think for me is the big distinction between those two platforms, and why, you could post the same piece of content in two different places and they'll perform completely differently. I still think for coaches, a platform like Instagram is important, because the investment in a coach and a coach's program is not an impulse buy like it might be on like a TikTok shop, £5 deal type of thing. You're scrolling and it's late at night and you've had a glass of wine and you might just buy something. A coach's program is not like that. No one's impulsively, spur of the moment, dropping all of this money on a coach's program. But you're only going to invest in that if you've built some kind of relationship with that person. You feel like they know what they're doing, you have a level of trust, you can see how they're going to help you. All of that comes from seeing lots of pieces of content from them, being in that audience for a while, maybe also being on their email list for a while. So you feel like you already know them and that they're going to be the right fit for you. That's unlikely, I think, to come from a TikTok or a random video that one person has seen once or twice. It's those relationships over time and a lot of content over time, really, that I think is going to be the best. I think that's the best platform that suits coaches because of that kind of community feel. Tanya, would you agree?
I completely agree. I think, it is the best platform for it. And I think it's really building that awareness. The other thing I would add to it, though, you had said, like, if it's late at night and you're sitting down with a glass of wine, the only thing I would add to that too is if you have more of like a low ticket entry of access, at that point, like I was that girl last night, sat down with a glass of wine and found some like wealth workshop that's a free week workshop, and I'm like, sorry, heck yes. I'm going to sign up for this. So I think it also depends on how you're approaching that, because that low ticket entry or that freebie also is a good way of building that up. So,
Lorna, one thing kind of stuck out to me as you were kind of going through that timeline. And guys, I don't necessarily want to dwell on this, but I do want to mention ads. I was listening to this podcast by Sam Wisnot. It's her Business Systems podcast. And she was having this conversation with Franny Cogshol. Guys, if I messed it up, my bad. And Franny was essentially saying, and Franny, she was based out of Portugal, created this multi-million-dollar marketing agency. She basically said that this day and age, if you're not spending at least $500 on ads as a business owner, as a service owner, entrepreneur, then you're not going to hit the numbers that you're targeting. And just briefly, because I know we could spend a whole episode on this, how does that land to you guys? I mean, do you guys think that paid ads are now the must-have thing in order to support your business?
I don't have a huge amount of experience with ads, but what I do know is that they're not for new coaches to fast track something. If I was going to use ads, I would want to make sure that I already knew what worked through my organic content. And I'd already tried things myself for free through organic content. If I was at a point where I know that this is working, I know this messaging works, I can keep consistent, then I would fast track it with ads, because you've got the confidence of knowing this is what my audience like, this is what my ideal client likes. And so we're just scaling it up with ads. I don't know the specifics in terms of budget. I've heard that you do need a couple of hundred, if not a couple of thousand, to get enough data points to kind of then optimize them. And for some people that's not within their marketing, advertising budget and whatnot. But I would be cautious of doing it as an experiment unless you're happy for the money to just go. I think a better approach is to look at what's working organically so that you're confident in your message and you know it's a good piece of content, it's going to get me leads or it's going to get me people to this place. And then the ads just amplifies that and helps you do it on a bigger scale.
Yeah. I mean, I think ads have their place. They are fantastic. As a newer coach, getting into the world of ads, if you don't necessarily know what you're doing, can get frustrating. It can get costly. It can get overwhelming. I think they work. I use them quite frequently. So I know they work. I've seen the benefit in them. My business partner tests them on the daily. So she runs funnels with ads consistently, and has seen a lot of really positive results. You need to dial in who it is that you're speaking to in order to make them effective. So if you're a new coach with a lower budget, I would not recommend ads to get started unless you know specifically who it is that you're talking to and your message behind it. You need to find your voice before you really start diving into that rabbit hole, or you need to find somebody who knows how to help you find your voice through ads.
Excellent. Thank you, Tanya. I completely agree. And to the audience out there, if you are looking for kind of that coach, Millennial Life Coaches certainly has those coaches that can help get you there. Speaking of coaches, I guess that's a good segue into the last segment here. Let's spotlight a couple coaches. Actually, I want to spotlight a coach. Her name is Bianca Topham. That's bianca.topham.coach on socials. And she's a burnout coach, and she's fantastic. I think her latest story, she was essentially asking questions like, do you know your triggers? Do you feel stressed, right? Do you know if you feel stressed, and how do you want to feel, right? And then what do you need in your life in order to get you to that point? And she was really just kind of breaking down kind of just this thought process of, conscious living, right? I mean, especially if you're an entrepreneur out there and maybe you're dealing with a bunch of ads, or maybe you're dealing with, a low follower count, or maybe you're just whatever you're dealing with. Burnout is real, especially in this industry. So Bianca, she's a fantastic just coach out there if you are looking for someone to help kind of guide you through maybe those periods in life. So thanks, Bianca.
I mean, I kind of want to shout out Lorna right now, because she's been doing such amazing things with social media. She's been really putting herself out there and really making an impact, not only with MLC, but within her own business. And it's been really cool to watch. So if you're looking for those social media tips and whatnot, I do highly recommend reaching out to Lorna.
Oh,
all right, Lorna, what's your IG?
It's Content by Lorna at the moment.
All right, excellent. We'll put it in the comments. It's awesome.
Someone who I can't remember if they're still on the directory or not. I might need to double check this because I feel like they've changed their handle recently. But Monique, who is a yoga instructor and spiritual coach, I've seen quite a lot of her videos recently. And every time I do, I remember to breathe. It sounds so funny, but I'm like, okay, I'll just breathe with her for a second and just take a second to just have a minute and think about my breathing. And so anytime I see her face popping up, I'm like, okay, I'll just take it's like a cue to just take a second and breathe. So I don't know if it's because she's changed her handle recently. I couldn't quite work it out, but she's at the.freespirit.yogi. So I might need to just double check that. But yes, I've been enjoying her videos as well this week.
Very Awesome. Yeah, she's another fantastic coach. Actually, I spoke to her maybe 2 months ago. So she is definitely very active out there in California. So yeah, great coach. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and we're gonna end it. And to the audience out there, just remember, you don't have to be a coach to change the world. You just have to be a positive influence in someone's life, and that aligns to the MLC mission, and they'll be kind of joining our community in spirit. So thank you again. Great episode, guys. Can't wait to do this again. So take care.
Bye.